You might not be able to hear that, but I have another leaking Fluidmaster toilet valve. I'm going to be changing it out with this Corky 528X. Stick around, I'll show you how to do this install. The most important part about this is diagnosing the problem correctly. Normally this presents itself with the toilet making a loud squealing sound or sounding like it's going to continue to run and not shut off the water. Most of the time your problem happens inside this water valve section. Some of these are rebuildable, but most of the time once that happens, they're just better off to replace it because you're going to have some other issues inside here. The rubber contents inside there are probably worn out and it's time to just put a whole new valve in. I've been having a lot of good luck with those Corky valves. We'll talk about that later in the video. But here is how you can also see every so often you want to take the back of your toilet off there. And if your water level is over here at the overflow tube, you don't even hear this toilet now, even myself standing next to it. I don't hear the toilet making any hissing sounds, but my water is going over that overflow fill tube. It's going to continue to do that, and you may not find it until you get a very high water bill. Sometimes if it's not overflowing here, you could have a bad flapper down here in the bottom of the tank. Let me see if I can show you that. So sometimes the flappers start to leak down there. In this application, mine is the valve. I'm going to be changing the valve and the flapper down in that section because while I have this apart, just makes sense. The parts are relatively inexpensive and you're already going to have the water drained out. For this repair, I'm going back with the Corky 528X. It's a little bit stronger material. I do like these versions a little bit better. And I'm also going to use their 2 times stronger flapper there. And the part number on that one is 2017 or 2017. Those are the components I'm going to be using. They say they have a 10-year warranty on these parts. I don't know if they last that long. I've had to replace a few valves here in our house, but I haven't reached the 10-year mark with the ones that I have replaced. I will say this though, this is the second Fluidmaster I've had to put on this toilet here, so I won't be using Fluidmaster anymore for some of those reasons. Tools I recommend, you're going to need some channel lock pliers. This is to get the water line off. You're also going to need to hand tighten this valve down, but you may want to do a quarter turn with this just to make sure you've got it all the way tight. You may need a knife here to cut some of the tubing. You'll see that later in the video. And some snips. I'm going to install a zip tie somewhere on mine that holds that overflow fill valve in there as well. Recommend some kind of bucket because you're going to have to flush the toilet, shut the water off, flush the toilet, and there's going to be some residual water. If you can get this underneath when you take the old valve off, some of that will drain down into this bucket rather than all over your floor. And then we're going to have just some miscellaneous things like old towels that we have in the house. I'll put around the area behind the toilet area here so we're not getting water all over the floor. Another thing I would recommend before you start this process is go ahead and clean your toilet. You're going to be around this area, and in my case, this is kind of what they call a water closet, so it's a very tight space. I'm going to be brushing up against this toilet, and there's really no reason to have a dirty toilet while you're getting up and next to it because you could just be spreading bacteria. So I do recommend that. Completely up to you. If you don't mind getting up next to a dirty toilet, just leave your toilet as it is. First step you want to do is you want to shut the water off right here. Mine's a quarter turn valve. If yours is not, just continue to rotate it till you feel the water pressure turn off. You can verify that you've turned it the correct direction by flushing the toilet. If it continues to fill with water, you haven't shut it all the way off. Now that we have the water off, you want to go ahead and flush the toilet. Hold the handle up so it drains as much water out of the back of the toilet as possible because you're going to have the remaining, once you take this valve out, is going to drip down from that edge there. Depending on your water line connection, this is where you're going to have to use your pliers there. And I'm going to use a channel lock pliers. I've already loosened mine right here. But you just want to loosen that nut right there. You want to hold your valve in place so you're not twisting or contorting this valve in any way. Otherwise, you can cause a leak further up into the wall. So just hold the valve, loosen that nut. In my case, this is just held on by a thumb screw underneath the bottom section of the toilet. So you just want to loosen this. You're going to get some water that can possibly drip down right here, but it's not going to drain what's inside this tank yet, not until you take the bottom of the valve nut off right there. So I've got my towel on the floor in case any of this spills down onto the tile here, and it's just going to capture it in that loose towel right underneath here. So that's okay. You're going to get some water. It's not going to be a lot of water. Again, if you hadn't turned that valve off properly, it will be a lot of water, but you should verify that before you disconnect this line. Now that the water line is out of the way, this is where you're going to want to get your bucket, put it underneath the bottom of where that valve is. Looking right here, this is just a thumb screw on here. Sometimes there may just be a nut. You may have to take your channel lock pliers to loosen that. In my case, mine was just hand tight. I have already loosened it. It may not start leaking water right away until you pull up on the valve. So I'm just going to loosen the nut all the way. And don't worry, just let the nut drop down into the bucket because you've got a whole nother nut coming with the new valve. And then you want to pull up on that toilet valve and the remaining water is going to drip into that bucket. Make sure your bucket is big enough though to hold all the water that's remaining in the toilet. So don't get something too small. I would say this is probably a 2-gallon bucket that I have, and it was able to capture what was left in the bottom of the toilet here. Now we can pull the old valve out. You may have to loosen this line here on the overflow tube. Once you've done that, just take this out. And for right now, you can just set it down into your bucket. You can throw this out here in just a little bit. We're going to remove the old flapper. You have these chains here that just have like a little, almost a carabiner style clip that's normally on the flush handle right here. So just take that loose. This one is plastic and it clips on. Be careful because you could break this overflow tube. You're trying not to do anything with this tube, so try not to disturb it if it's not necessary. But this one just snaps on, and then we can just take this out and throw it in our bucket and throw it out later. Now that everything's out of the way, I'm going to dry up some of this water and clean up some of this little bit of a rusted color right here inside the toilet. You mainly want this area to be dry before you put that seal back down on the new valve. So just kind of clean this out, wipe it out really good before you get ready to install the new valve. I'm getting ready to install the new flapper, and this is Corky part number 2017. And don't worry if you miss any of these part numbers or anything, I'll have links in the description. But this has an adjustable part down here at the bottom where it would allow the flapper to lower down in enough speed. And that's some of the things you're going to have to check for is once you flush your toilet, if you are not within the line, within an inch or so of the original line on the toilet, there's a section here where you may want to open this up. And what I assume this is going to do is it's going to allow water to get inside here and weight this down so it'll close down faster. And then if you're wanting to conserve more water, they have where you can adjust this from level 1 all the way to level 6. Right now, out of the box, it's at level 6, which will not conserve as much water. And then the valve here, or whatever this turn piece here is closed, so water will not be able to get in there. But you are able to make those adjustments, so when you do your final adjustment, if it's not closing down fast enough or if it's closing down too fast, you'll be able to make the adjustments on this flap as well. I do like the new flappers where they're not a hard piece of plastic here where you risk possibly snapping or breaking this overflow tube. So it's just a solid piece of rubber and it's flexible enough to fit over this tube here. We're not worried about breaking anything, and it does still have ability to move up and down freely without causing any issues. On your chain, you want to connect your chain here to the flush valve handle, and you're going to want to take out the slack, and I will do that probably off camera. It's a little hard to do one-handed, but all you do is you can move this hook down the chain until when you pull on this handle, you want just slightly bit of slack. When you pull on the handle, you want it to almost immediately pull up on the flapper down there. You may not be able to see it. You don't want this so loose that when you turn the handle that the top of this hits the top of the toilet. The top of this handle here will hit the top of the toilet if you hadn't taken enough of this chain slack out. Some people also may want to wrap theirs like that as long as it's secured and not going to come off. You still want to get it into one of these notches here though, so you can have that ability. This flush valve handle has 3 different notches. I always use the one furthest to the end right there. It seems to give it a little bit more leverage when you go to flush the toilet. I've taken the slack out of my chain. I'm actually on the 10th link from here from the top. So you may be somewhere around 9 to 10. Really just depends on how deep this backside of the bowl is for your toilet. And just to show you and demonstrate, that little bit of slack is just by barely touching that knob. It hadn't moved the flapper yet. And then as soon as I want to flush the toilet, it's going to pull that up. And again, we're trying to avoid this piece of the handle from hitting the underside of that toilet. Otherwise, it's not going to flush properly. I'm getting ready to install the new valve, and I wanted to show you a few things outside of the toilet before we put that in. But since this is a universal unit, you can loosen this and extend or lower this down depending on the inside of your toilet there. So they've made it that way so you can get your water level line there dialed in. You want to try to get that line as close to the original water level that was inside the toilet. Another thing that's going to be hard for me to show you once it's installed is once you've got that locked in and you've got the proper water level, this is a lock that you kind of slide underneath one of these sides here, and it snaps down into place so it can no longer rotate once you know that you've got the perfect height for your toilet. Now it does kind of go up inside here. You almost want to go flush like that where you cannot see the arrow anymore. And some of that's going to be hard for you to see once I'm doing the final install. But so when you see that part or you hear me talk about that part, this is that key that locks it in place that I'm referring to. I've adjusted my valve, and to show you how I know I've got the right height, what you want to do is there's an assembly line right here where these two pieces go together. You want that even with the top of your overflow tube. And if you line that up properly, there's a water level line here, and that will be almost about 1/2 inch below your overflow tube. The key here is you want this float inside here to shut off the valve before the water reaches the overflow. Don't worry if you don't adjust this properly to start with. Once you've bolted everything in, before you put that white key in that I showed you, you can still make the adjustment to raise or lower this in case your water level is not reaching the desired level you have. You want to insert the valve through the toilet bowl hole there at the bottom and make sure that your gasket at the very bottom, and this one has a red gasket, it's fully seated, it's not sitting off to one edge or the other. The other thing you want to do is this fill tube here, you want it in line or clocked around where this is going to go into that overflow tube there. And from the bottom side, this is the nut that we're going to put on. We're going to hand tighten this. It is kind of cupped from this side, not the flat edge there. You want this side up, and it does have print on there that tells you this side up should be facing the toilet bowl side. On the underside of the back of the bowl, you're just going to tighten this nut hand tight. And then you may want to do one more quarter turn with your hand. You really shouldn't have to use the pliers, but if for some reason it's not tightening up, you may want to take it back off, check the threads, make sure you didn't strip these threads out. But you don't want to break this. This is just plastic, so if you tighten it too much, you could snap this. The nut on the bottom side is tight now, and I've already got my height set here where I am just even on that assembly line I showed you, is even with the top of the overflow tube, which should put my fill line about 1/2 inch below the top of that overflow tube. If for some reason, after you tightened it, yours is out of alignment or anything, you can still turn this and raise or lower this. So don't be upset if it's not exactly the way you set it originally before you bolted it in. And again, this is still adjustable until we put this white assembly key in there that locks it in place. We're not ready to do that yet. So again, we'll finish up the install. This will be one of the last things we do when we're checking water level. For the refill portion of the valve, they give you this silver clip that's going to snap onto or push down onto the overflow tube right here, into the fill tube here. And you're going to want to bend this hose and kind of measure where you're going to make your cut. I don't know why, but it is pretty short on this specific toilet. I believe this is a Kohler toilet. Some toilets it may be further away, or the valve may be over to the side a little bit more. But give yourself just a little bit of room. You definitely have plenty of extra slack here in case you cut this too short or you don't like the way it turned out. I'm moving mine back to the back side just a little bit. The water will be able to make that flow there, so I'm not too concerned about that. But if you put it here, right here at the edge, it's going to be probably a little bit too short and be almost right in the middle of where this valve is here. This is an adjustment valve that we're going to be connecting that to. So this is where your razor blade comes in. Line it up, make you a mark, and cut that with your razor blade. Once the fill tube hose is connected, it should look something like that. You want to make sure you don't have any kinks or anything in here. If it did kink, you may have to shorten the hose. You may have to make it longer. You may have to move this final position right here. So just move that around until you know you've got a nice bend there. They do recommend sometimes heating this up and make the bend and then let it kind of contour back into place. But in my case, I don't need to do any of that. It looks like it's perfect where it's at, and I don't have any kinks in that hose. I'm ready to connect the water line back on, and since mine is a hard line, I'm not going to be replacing mine. Mine is bent to the direction that the toilet is in position. I did check this gasket here. Everything looks good on that, and the nut here is good on this side. If you had a soft or a braided line and it's been on there for a little while, I would recommend go ahead and replacing that at the same time that you're replacing the valve. You're already there, you already took that hose off, and the chances of the other hose putting it back on, it's probably going to leak in that area. Unless you have a hard line, I would replace it. If you have a hard line like this, these are okay to reuse. I've got the water line back on. Remember, when you tighten this nut right here, you want to hold the valve coming out of the wall and tighten that with your channel lock pliers. Up here at the top, the original nut did fit, and you want to hand tighten that and maybe give it a quarter turn after it's as tight as you can get it. Now that everything's on, we're ready to turn this water back on. Turn it on slowly so your toilet starts to fill up, and then look for any leaks around this area and the bottom side of the toilet where you tightened all that up. And then you want to look inside the toilet here and look that it fills up properly. It is good to see water dripping from here, so don't think the valve is broken. You will have water dripping from the back there. This is the fill tube right here. It's overflow and fill, so it's filling the toilet up right now. And this knob is adjustable. We'll get to that here in just a minute, but if you want to slow that down, and again, if the toilet level is not correct for where it stops at the valve, that's where you can slow this down. Of course, the wider open that this is, the louder it's going to be. So it depends on your preference there. You can certainly adjust this. And when we look at the water level, we'll talk about that a little bit more. You want to repeat the process of flushing the toilet a few times to make sure it stops back at the original line. And we're kind of looking for mine to stop here. And I already checked it once, and it did stop about 1/2 of an inch before it got to the top of the tube here. So I think I hit it spot on first try. To give you an idea what I've done with this valve here, there is a setting where you can go higher or lower. I'm about in the midway position. You'll kind of feel that when you rotate it. There's a hard stop on this side, a hard stop on this side. So I'm in about the middle, and I checked inside the toilet itself, and it filled up exactly where the original line was. So I may have just gotten lucky, or that I've installed enough of these Corky valves that I know pretty much where I need to set that. Remember, if your water line is not exactly where you want it, say it went up too high, then you need to lower your valve down into this toilet section more. Remember, you could still twist this and lower it down. If it's not going high enough, then you can loosen this and raise this, and that's basically the water's getting to the float too soon if it didn't go up high enough. And it's not reaching the float if the water started to overflow into this fill tube section here. I've flushed my toilet several times, and everything is lining up exactly where I want it to. This is the part that I told you is going to be hard for me to show you once the valve is installed, but that is the white lock right there. If you see the arrows, you didn't push it up inside there far enough. That stops this from moving up or down. I'm not sure if you can put this in without putting the lock in and it be fine. It does flush, so maybe if you want to try that, that's completely up to you. I do recommend putting that in there though, so this doesn't move, because if you didn't make that adjustment, you could come and your toilet could be overflowing, and then you get a big water bill and figure out you should have just put that tab in there. So if you do see the pieces of the arrow, you didn't push it up high enough. You got to kind of reach and contort down into that area to get it installed. Maybe they'll come up with a different design in the future, but for mine, it really is not too bad to get it once you figure it out. But that is where I installed mine, and everything now is locked in place. The water is filling back up in the back of the toilet. Everything is good. Everything is set the way I wanted it to. And we've completed this install for this Corky 528X flush valve for your toilet. Again, if you're having the same problem like I had, to me, these are some of the better valves. They've lasted longer. Again, this toilet, this had 2 fluid masters on it. So I definitely recommend using these Corky valves. We also put that flap on, that's a part number 2017, and I'll have all that linked in the comments and descriptions. Hopefully this information was useful or helpful for you, and if it was, please subscribe and share, and that's to the point.